What if I told you that every single thing you have been taught about security is actually a lie? What if I told you the comfort and stability that you are so desperately clinging onto in this moment is actually what's keeping you stuck while chaos and uncertainty and fears are actually holding the key to your freedom? Well, today we are turning everything you thought about security upside down. That's right. By the end of this episode, you might just see the very power that uncertainty has, and that's your greatest opportunity to get unstuck and grow, tapping into your true essence and potential. Hello there, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another Mindful Monday. I am your host, your girl, Arika Trimnell, also known as the Mindful Mistress. I am here to help each of us shed our old ways of thinking in a hope or in attempts that we can grow spiritually, embrace the power of the unknown. So today's topic is especially close to home, and I actually want to take a moment to send love, strength, and prayers to my fellow North Carolinians who have been impacted by Hurricane Helene. This storm it really reminds us that the structures that we rely on for safety, our homes, our communities, our routines, can be taken away at an instant. But it's really in that chaos that lies a deeper truth that nothing in life is guaranteed. And that's exactly why uncertainty actually holds so much power. And the illusion of security is what holds so many of us back. So let's talk about security. We are often taught that it is the foundation of success. It's a good job. Maybe it's a steady paycheck. It's a solid relationship. A home that you can rely on is certainly a lovely thing. As I sit here in my own home, but honestly, let's be real. How many times or how many of us have found ourselves in a situation where we feel stuck, that our things surrounding us really weren't really serving us, and it's because we felt so secure. You know what I mean? Like you stayed in that job that drained your soul and your spirit because the paycheck was steady, because you were living a comfortable life. You maybe remained in a relationship that no longer served you, that no longer nourished your soul, because the idea of starting over was just maybe too scary. I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in both of those situations. But today, I really want to dive in deep and really help us grow in this area of safety and security, and what true uncertainty actually is and how we can benefit from it. So, you know, there is a hard truth that security is this illusion. All structures fail. I learned that from Eckhart Tolle. In when we surround ourselves, or we get so caught up in the illusion that what we can see, this tangible physical things in our surrounding, is what is actually real and secure, that's when we fall prey and we fall victim to this this illusion. And so it's a comforting lie, but at the end of the day, it's a lie that we wrap ourselves in, because the unknown is scary, and staying in our comfort zone is a way of protection. When we talk about what I've talked about in several of the videos about how our brains and even our bodies are wired for safety, it looks for familiarity. Can't say it today. It looks for things that are familiar, and it focuses on that. And you get a certain comfort by things that are familiar because we've deemed them safe, and how our brain will really even cloud our perception into what safety is. You could have this idea that, like, for instance, this room that I'm in, that I'm safe. But what really could be on the other side of the camera, you don't know, could be all sorts of tools, weapons that at any moment could fall from the ceiling, or I don't know, thrown out, project they could be projected this way. So the this idea, this illusion of safety in security is oftentimes what creates us in this bubble or box, and what can be suffocating sometimes. And it could be the very thing that you are suffocating from right in this moment. If you are in an unhealthy or not supportive relationship, whether it be with someone, with a situation, with a job, etc., this could be where you're struggling between safety and security, and your ideas of it, and how what you were taught, you have really internalized that to make that your surrounding, but now your surrounding is becoming a noose around your neck, and you don't know how to get out of it. And the more that we chase this ideal, whether it be from a cultural aspect or a societal aspect of security, the more disconnected we actually get from our true purpose and ourselves. And so to be able to evolve and expand and transform and connect back to our essence, I you have to get a you have to get uncomfortable. You have to, I don't want to say get unsafe, but kind of. You have to break that illusion of what safety is. And the way I want you to try to think about, or I invite you to think about, is every structure you rely on in life is temporary. The job, the house, the relationship, they all can change or disappear at any moment. And I think the real question is, how will you respond when that happens? Will you cling to that illusion, to the idea that you can control the situation, or will you surrender to the flow of life and allow uncertainty to lead you to something bigger, something greater, some relationship that you will have a deeper and stronger connection than what you have right now, but you're holding on to it because you want control and you're scared. Fear is on the other side. It could also be a trauma response. It's totally natural. And it's totally normal. I think, or at least I think I remember uh, 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 a meme, and I think it might have even come from a quote that Will Smith said, that like everything you want is on the other side of fear. So just teaching us to let go, and how beautiful it is on the other side. But you don't know that until you go through it. You go through that uncomfortableness of the storm, of letting go, of cutting ties, of maybe doing a cord cutting ceremony. You don't know till you're on that other side, and you go through that change and that transformation. And the more that you go through it, the more comfortable you get at doing it again, when you realize that a situation or a person is no longer supportive, or serving or aligning to the next version of yourself that you are becoming. So I want you to know that I say this not from a perspective of, oh, I'm greater than, but I go through this constantly. I know what it feels like to hold on to that illusion so tight. And let me be completely honest and transparent here. There are areas of my life that I am definitely clinging on to. It's a work in progress, but I definitely know. But the beautiful thing is the awareness. I always tell you, regardless of whatever you're going through, whatever battle you're facing, where you are on your journey, however long you've been on your journey, that awareness piece is a game changer, because once you know that, okay, in this area, I see that I am clinging, right? Then you can ask yourself the real questions that matter. Why? What is this tied to? What are my beliefs around this situation to why I'm clinging on to it? And from there, you can start to dismantle those limiting beliefs, patterns, habits, etc., and start to reparent, reprogram yourself. So, you can ask yourself what stability really looks like in a career or job. Are you okay with not having a predictable path, or always seeing the path ahead? On the outside, everything could seem so beautiful when you have that steady paycheck or when you have this, doting or loving spouse. But are your out is your outside a true reflection of your inside? Because if it's not serving who you are on the inside, it doesn't matter how it looks on the outside, right? Or even how it looks to other people on the outside. You will feel trapped. You will feel stuck. You can battle with depression. You can have dark night of the soul start coming. All of these things happen when we have created these boxes, these limiting boxes or these limiting prisms for ourselves. And so in my own struggle, my soul was shrinking, but on the outside, it looked like I had everything together. My life had, blown up, as you'd say, and everything looked great. And people probably thought I was so secure and had, all of the things in life that make one believe that you are successful. But it wasn't until I got the courage to let go that I really truly stepped into that terrifying unknown place. But in that place is where I found freedom. It makes me think of a session that I did not too long ago. It was a personal healing ceremony, and I had asked them to kind of go over their values. I think that everyone should always reevaluate your values and what do you value at this point in your life because it changes. And one of the people in this particular session, their value was freedom. And we all love freedom, our time freedom, our money freedom, like, freedom to just pop up and do whatever. But freedom comes at a cost. Freedom comes at a cost of your perceived safety and security. So you have to really assess, what is it that you truly want? Do you want the safety and security? Because then you could be jeopardizing your freedom. Or would you rather have your freedom and it's okay that there is uncertainty in life, right? It could be okay that you are on this beautiful roller coaster and you've learned how to flow with life, as opposed to trying to control everything and fit everything into this tiny, tiny box, and put your whole world and everybody else in the box too. Because generally how we love and respond to ourselves, that's generally how we love and respond to other people. But that's beside the point. But in this moment, I really had to let go. And I tell you, doors open up. I expanded in ways that I didn't even know were there. It was totally scary at first, but and I doubted myself. And I still have moments of doubt, to be honest with you. But it was a place where I could actually grow. I wasn't stagnant. I wasn't stagnant by the tangible things in my life. That I had true freedom, and I had, even better than I would say true freedom, is that connection to who I truly was, and then had a thirst and hunger to learn more about this beautiful being that I call, well, that technically my parents named me Arika, but this beautiful being that I've now dubbed myself as the mindful mistress. And what does that truly mean, and how do I want to truly show up in the world? So, the truth is, to get to this, it's gonna take, maybe like a coming to Jesus call. Or, you've got to have that honest conversation with yourself. You have to be in a place where you are ready to embrace uncertainty. Truth is that, nothing in life is guaranteed. And I know we say that, but truly nothing in life is guaranteed. You can't count on anything but change. But that's not a reason to live in fear. It's a reason to really embrace the uncertainty that life has as an invitation for growth. Uncertainty isn't something that, we should avoid. It is actually a space that allows for transformation to happen. So next time when you feel a little unsettled and it's because things aren't maybe going as planned, try to take a pause and invite play in and lean into the situation, asking yourself, is this uncertainty, um, you know, an enemy or is it a teacher trying to teach me something? And what can I learn from the discomfort that I am feeling rather than immediately going to run away from it? So remember that in true discomfort is really, it's the birthplace of growth. It's the birthplace of creativity. Think about that. From voids can creativity truly be birth, where we can experience all different types of life and bring beautiful artwork and think of like beautiful nature. So that is, I would say the first step is being able to embrace uncertainty. Then truly figuring out what that means. And so what is security? What does safety mean to you? Is it relationships? Is it money? Is it fragile? Is it external? Is it something that can be taken away? True security comes from within, at least that's my definition. It's something that's rooted in when you trust and know yourself, your higher power. That's the foundation. And when you believe in that, all of the external things outside of you are not here to reassure you and to validate you. And they can ebb and flow, and that's cool because I'm still going to be me, right? At the end of the day, I'm going to be Arika, and Arika is going to operate in such, regardless of all the outside BS going on. Now, granted, I do know because I definitely experienced it, especially going through the hurricane. When you have all this uncertainty around you, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have a moment, a time, a week, a month, or whatever, where your bandwidth shrinks. You don't have the capacity to handle as much change and uncertainty as you used to. Know that that's all right. It will change, and just as you change. But again, in those moments, what it is or what it shows me is that those are areas where I can grow in, should I choose to take on that challenge, right? It's an invitation for me to grow in those moments where I'm like, I really don't have the bandwidth. What can I do? What do I have in my tool belt to grow my bandwidth to a higher capacity? But again, this isn't looking for things outside of myself. This is going inward. So when you shift your focus inward, you strengthen your sense of self and you build that inner resilience, that real security versus the security that we look for in, our outer surroundings outside of ourselves. And from there, you become this tree that is rooted, and the roots don't just go deep, the roots spread out. And you become this unshakable thing that no matter what happens, you're good. I hear that from my friends. That is something that I hear from friends and people who know me. I'll say that, or kind of know me, or have seen me, or know of me, will say that, will be like, man, you are pretty consistent. Like, no matter, whether it's a high or a low, for the most part, you operate in this zone. And that's because I'm rooted in who I am. Granted, I'm uncovering more and more about myself all of the time. And, I give myself grace to be a hot mess. I will tell you in a hot second, like, yeah, I'm not doing so good. But that comes from your connection, that security, that unwaveringness, that ability to be strong and stable, like a tree. That's an inward thing. And that's a key to understanding what true security is. And as I had mentioned before, our brains, our bodies, our DNA, we're wired for this ideal of comfort. But to be honest, growth never really happens when we're in our comfort zone. It happens when we are outside of our comfort zones, when we step into the unknown, when inside our heads are freaking out, or you're feeling the discomfort. All the signals are there for discomfort, and the universe is maybe throwing something bigger on your plate than you expected. And you look back at your life, and every single time you have grown, you have transformed, or you have leveled up, guess what? I guarantee you it came out of a period of discomfort. It came out of a period where you were uncomfortable, maybe a breakup, maybe a loss of job. Maybe you took the leap of faith and you moved somewhere where you didn't know anything, or maybe it came after a point where you felt like your life was falling apart, but it actually made you stronger. So next time, I invite you to see discomfort in your life as an invitation for growth, not a point at which to avoid and run away from. It's a signal that transformation really is right around that corner if you're open to it. So another aspect that you can take is really surrendering to that flow of life. You know, things happen, people give up, but surrendering, there's power in surrendering. When you hear the word surrender, you might have a connotation that it's just giving up, but it's so much more than that. It's releasing the need to control and trust. It's giving up that trauma response with an understanding, with a knowing that focuses on an area of an area that is far greater than you or I can even really comprehend. In no way is it you just tossing in the towel, but it's you you leveraging the, I would say, the deepest parts of yourself to align with the universe who operates on infinite possibilities when you truly, truly, truly surrender. So it's when you allow your life to go in unexpected directions without you trying to even use mind control or and get mad because it's not what you had planned. So I invite you again to maybe even change your idea of what surrender is and what that looks like, and add more room for growth, and um, observe areas of your life where you're a little more rigid and you're searching for control. And there, if I have to say, there's this kind of a beautiful paradox here, if you will. The more you actually surrender, technically, the more power you gain. When you let go of the need to control, you actually are reclaiming your dominion over your life. I want you to think about that. You aren't just a passenger here that gets tossed around by all this external circumstances, right? Because that's what happens when we are so used to the tangible things in life, and we use that to dictate and give ourself a sense of security. So when it's gone, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then something else might leaves my life. I don't know what to do, or something else change. Oh my God, I really do not know what to do. I'm going to lose it. But when you choose to surrender, you are actually reclaiming and saying, I don't give an F. If this person leaves my life, or that person leaves my life, or this situation, goes not how I expect it to go, because I know at the end of the day, I am co-creating this experience, and I am aligning to that which I am calling in. I've seen this, I've seen this time and time again, in the lives of my clients and in my very own life. The moments when I have stopped fighting for control and I've just allowed myself to be guided by the flow of life. And in those moments is when I have had the most profound opportunities just like appear out of nowhere. It's like all this time I have been kicking and screaming and to get something done, or I've got this new initiative, or I'm cultivating this new seed or this new project, and I've been fighting with the universe like, I want to go this way. And then as soon as I sit back and say, you know what, whatever, then Jeff, something typically shows up greater and bigger than what I had actually planned. So, I mean, if that doesn't teach you anything, I don't know what will. But no, I know we all learn differently, but just goes to show. I don't know if the universe does that with you, but that's certainly how it reminds me to surrender and be part of the flow. And that's how I actually reclaim my time. That's how I reclaim my power. Lastly, a way to help you cultivate this new perspective of security and safety is to just show up. Show up fully, not for the world, but really show up fully for yourself in that moment. And if showing up fully for yourself in that moment means that you are stepping into the unknown, no matter what is going to happen, it could be that you are just trusting in the capability that has brought you this far. And when you do that, you become an example, you become a light for other people. Your courage starts to exude. You have this beautiful energy, and it gives other people in your life permission to do the same thing. I think of the Marianne Williamson talks about this, that one, she talks about that we really fear the light in us. And then she also talks about like when you show your light, you give other people permission to have their light shine. And so when you fully show up for yourself, you reflect back those parts of others in themselves. And so that's like, hey, I see Erica out here, excuse me, doing the thing. I want to do my own thing too. I see how she shines when she's in her lane, when she's operating in her zone of genius or whatever. I want to do that too. And what is that for me? So same way you see people who, we see them now, you know that in that moment they are operating out of pure and unlimited energy because they are in that flow. We all have experienced it at some point in our life doing something. They showed up for themselves, and that is infectious and makes you want to show up as yourself. So do not be afraid to claim a space. Do not be afraid to declare boundaries that say, this is who I am, and this is how I want to show up in the world. This is how I want to live life. Do more for yourself and showing up, and then you will invite others to do the same. And that too will cause relationships to change. You will have deeper and more fulfilled relationships when you are able to show up to yourself, because you are now no longer connecting to that superficial part in you that connected to the superficial part in them. You are connecting from the deep essence within. So here's the truth that I really want you to take with you. It really is the unknown. It's not your enemy. It is not something to be feared or to be avoided. It's where your true power actually lies, baby girl. So embrace the uncertainty. Free yourself from the illusion that everything's got to be a certain way and that you have to control it. Become a true co-creator of life. Step into the fullness and the beauty or the masculinity or whatever, you have your divine, both sides, feminine, masculine. Step into that fully and embrace yourself. Embrace every moment, every opportunity, every relationship, because we only get this life, at least in this body, once. Allow yourself to experience joy and bliss like no other, because it all can be taken from you in a matter of moments, just like that. I want to thank you so much for sharing this moment with me, this mindful moment on this Mindful Monday, although it's not really Monday. Again, I want to send my thoughts, my condolences, my prayers to my other fellow North Carolinians. I am here with you. I love you. We will work together as we restore this amazing state. Thank you. You have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. And know that this uncertainty, that this time is really here to support you in your growth and your next transition. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.